So in today's video, I'm going to talk about why I'm not interested in self-help books or podcasts anymore, the self-help contents. So before I start, I would like to say that this is obviously, as always, just my personal experience and opinions about certain topic that I'm going to share. So I am not against self-help, but I see it now in different lights, and I've decided to move away from it some time ago. So a few years back, I think around 2021, I got really interested in self-help stuff. I bought a few books back then. One of them, I think, was Jim Rohn's book, How to Grow. I really can't remember the book's name because I got rid of all those books. I wanted to change my life for better, let's say, be like financially free, start making money either online or by starting some business on my own. Well, that was my aim. So I read, I watched, I made notes and plans. At that time, I was also into New Age, so I was to make sure I read what I wanted, stay positive, always, and take steps towards what I wanted to achieve. I was lucky enough not to pay for any online seminars or spend a fortune on these so-called life-changing supposedly classes. So I didn't get trapped in this kind of online guru mentality where you pay a lot of money. So I only spent some money on books. Most of them were like secondhand, and I will just watch some hear podcasts on our videos on Instagram that time or YouTube. So after some time I got tired of it all. So yeah, it's like I really got tired of it all for some reason. Maybe that was my inner voice telling me to step away from it. I also left New Age at that time and I stepped on a different path that was finding God. So now as I look back at all this, I can see that this self-help content sells very well, promising mainly riches and success when you are in a vulnerable place, wanting a better life for yourself or your loved ones. But most of it is simply lies and illusions by people selling you promise and making actually money on people who are more vulnerable to this kind of stuff, who maybe grew up in poverty, because don't forget, most of those so-called self-help people will always tell you that they were poor and they build up these successes and everything. Most of the stories start the same. I was poor, now I'm successful business owner, I make a lot of money, I work from home, I can live anywhere in the world I want to. So we have to bear in mind that anyone can coach today, especially online, with gaining some certificates online. Anyone can open company today, and being on social media can give you that if you are also a very strategic speaker, and if you've got that kind of good storytelling attitude, it will be easy. But I know that a lot of people now realize all the lies and stepping away from that as well. So yes, there is mention as well on sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice everyday hard work, especially at the beginning. But the truth is that only few will be really successful. That's the reality. Truly not everyone can be a good business owner either. I simply can't imagine myself as one. I can't imagine myself running a business. It's a lot of pressure. So I, for example, prefer to work for someone else, and I've also known people who do run successful businesses, and I can tell you it's not always walk in the park. They don't live beach life all the time, um, and they have got a lot of responsibilities. Yes, maybe now they can make money, but it took them a long time to do so, and to find the right people to work for them as well. They can trust. So no, and they don't spend half of the year on holidays either. Because I think when you have your own business, you have to work even harder to build it up. So it's not as simple. Yes, it might give you some freedom, but we have to remember that, like I said before, not everyone will be a good business owner. It's not for everyone. So self-help, in my opinion, is like a bit of self-destruction. Living in a fantasy, especially when you actually don't want to admit it's not working, because for some people it's not working, and they're still trying to push it, and which is nothing wrong with that. But I think sometimes when you see yourself, it's not working, it's probably best to step away and maybe try something else, or just realize maybe it's not what people are interested in anyways, or maybe I'm just not good at it. It is okay. So I, for example, know my strengths, what I'm good at, and I don't mind doing something as a hobby first to see how it goes. But from a reality point check, I will never give up anything until I achieve, or actually I can afford to live off my own business. Like, I wouldn't do it, but I had that kind of mindset. So maybe, what, it's good if I step away from my work, I quit all my jobs, and I focus my time on this kind of business building. And that's where many people might fail, because if you don't have a backup plan, I'm afraid you will be in trouble. We need money to survive in this world. This is the reality, and the online world is, in most cases, an illusionary one. There's lots of illusions online. Also, most self-help books talk the same strategies, just in a little bit of different context. Because I've read few of them, and it's really, if you pay attention, is the same stuff. It's just maybe written in different ways. So if I do want or need to improve my life, I would say somehow I have to look at what I can do or change first. And I definitely don't need a rich guru, or guru who pretends to be rich. I know that some people find this content motivational, and it might even help someone, but as I no longer strive for success, achievements, or a rich life, I'm simply not interested in this lifestyle and chasing the stars. I now love to write. I've signed up for another English course that will keep me busy for a year nearly, to help me level up my writing and my speaking. I also enjoy bread making at home now, and in between do the best I can at my jobs. With God, my life is much better and more simpler. So I'm glad I realized that whilst I'm still quite young, I can say. I just choose what's best, and I try to be more cautious of any online content now, especially when someone tries to sell something. I think the only thing I would pay is language, like for some extra classes if I wanted to learn a language. But there is so much free stuff here on YouTube that you can actually learn for free, and you don't have to spend any fortune. So that is what I wanted to share this week with you about the self-help, how I see it from my personal perspective and experiences. So yes, if you would like to share, if you about self-help, if you came across self-help, what you think about self-help, please do share in the comments. It has been a lovely September so far. This is the second week of September. Although colder mornings and evenings now, you can feel the chill. Also been growing some tomatoes, so so far I actually got 4, which is good. They taste much better than the shop ones. I think nothing can beat homegrown things if you can. I got very limited space, and this was just a first attempt to grow tomatoes and some cucumbers. We've got one, and it was actually really nice. I also got some basil on my windowsill, so hopefully more next year, more produce. I also have to say I've been having trouble with sleeping again, so it's just like these little patterns, they come and go. But whilst I'm awake, I just pray more. I'm thinking of stopping coffee again, but it's really hard with the change of the weather, you know. When it's cold in the mornings, is that I would like this coffee, you know. It's hard. Human, we are weak. We are weak in so many ways, but who knows? One day I'll get there. We'll see. I can't promise I will though. So I would have to say that I became self-qualified sourdough bread maker, but I'm not planning on opening any business because that will be too tiring. It's just nice to make your own bread and not to buy any from the shops. So yes, life is a big journey that will end for all of us someday. Obviously, we're all going to end up in, well, not in the same place, but you know what I mean. We're all going to end up on the ground, wherever. So I think let's just try to make the most of it, the best we can, and be really cautious on what we are watching, especially these days, because you don't want to end up obviously being ripped off from your money, or being in some ways dismotivated as well if you are, you know, failing. Like there is so many videos, oh, you should start a YouTube channel and you can make a success on YouTube. Let's be honest, there is a little fraction of people that make success on YouTube, and majority of us will never reach that level. So just do it because you enjoy it and don't expect any returnings. And if you do, then may it be a nice surprise for you. But just do it because you're doing it. So thank you and God bless you. Until next time.